Thank you, and welcome to the August 24th Mesa City Council meeting. All of our council is present with the exception of Mr. Whitaker, who is excused. At this council meeting, we will be taking comments from telephone and electronically. And occasionally we'll break into spontaneous music and dance. So look forward to that happening. You can find multiple ways to participate on the first page of the council agenda. Additionally, if you want to speak, you should submit a blue card 1 hour before the meeting. Again, you can find that information on the first page of the agenda and at mesaz.gov/blue card. We will begin our meeting with a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. So please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the moment of silence. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you very much. The first item on our agenda today for this meeting is awards and recognitions. Tonight we have 4 items on this agenda. The first is a proclamation about Mesa becoming a dementia-friendly city. The City of Mesa, the Mesa Chamber of Commerce, and Oakwood Creative Care are creating the ability for people living with dementia to remain in the community and to thrive. The Dementia Friendly Mesa initiative is committed to providing training, education, and support for business and people living with dementia. Here to tell us more is Sherry Friend. She's the president and CEO of Oakwood Creative Care and a member of the Chamber's Aging and Health Care Committee. Sherry, welcome.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So great to see you all. We are so excited that in July of this year, the Mesa Chamber's Healthcare and Aging Committee was designated by Dementia Friendly America as a dementia-friendly city. So what does that mean for Mesa? It means you have a whole collective committee of business owners, hospitals, police, fire, all working together to create resources, support, training, and education for businesses and restaurants, and a way to bridge the gap, assess the needs of people living with dementia in our community, and be able to start working towards goals of creating a better quality of life and a better place for them to live. So we appreciate the city's support in this. We've been working together for over a year to get this up and going. And so thank you to everybody involved, Sally Harrison for her leadership and support, and everybody who's been in on the committee. And if people are interested, they can reach out to the Mesa Chamber to get more information on getting involved.
Well, thank you, Sherry. I'm looking forward to getting this proclamation to you personally. And thank you so much for all that you and Oakwood are doing for the families in our community. We look forward to working with you even more closely.
Thank you.
Next, we have recognition of the Nile Theater for earning a 2020 Governor's Heritage Honor Presentation Award. The Nile, as we all know, has been a staple in downtown Mesa for nearly 100 years. And through the City of Mesa's facade improvement program, they recently received an impressive restoration of the front of their building. The pandemic has had a devastating impact on independent music and art venues. And here tonight to talk about the award and the Save Our Stages initiative is Michelle Donovan, owner of the Nile. Michelle, welcome. Good to have you with us.
Thank you, Mayor Giles. First off, we want to thank the city for helping us renovate the front of the building through the facade improvement program. Made a huge impact on visibility of the venue. Unfortunately, due to COVID, we've been closed for the past 5 months and are not scheduled to reopen until spring of 2021. We're not the only venue that's like this. Across the nation, there's about 2,000 independent music venues that are now shuttered and are unsure of when they will reopen. We are part of NEVA, which is the National Independent Venue Association, and that organization has raised funds to get lobbyists to Congress to draw attention to the entertainment industry and what we're against, what we're fighting against with COVID. For every $1 spent on a concert ticket, 12 more are spent in the local economy, restaurants, bars, and so forth. And just here in downtown Mesa, between the Nile, the Mesa Amphitheater, the Mesa Art Center, the National Comedy Theater, there's going to be a huge impact on the surrounding businesses because of the lack of foot traffic and events that are happening here. So we are now pushing for September 1st. There's going to be a restart. It's called Red Alert for Restart. The act in Congress is called the Restart Act, and that would help thousands and thousands of small businesses across America reopen. Not everybody can be closed for a year and make it out financially, so they're asking businesses and buildings throughout Mesa, Phoenix, Tempe, the entire country to light up their buildings in red to draw attention to Congress that action needs to be taken to protect businesses like the Nile, the Mesa Amphitheater, and others so that we don't all close.
Okay, well, Michelle, thank you. We're all proud of this great award that you've received from the governor's office. The facade improvements to your theater are beautiful, and we look forward to the time that we can begin attending events in the theater again. But thank you for the great facelift that you've undergone, and we're looking forward to opportunities to help you stay afloat and return to business. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You bet. Our second proclamation tonight is in recognition of the 100th anniversary of the Negro National Baseball League. Through the U.S. Conference of Mayors Play Ball initiative called Tip Your Cap, cities around the country are honoring those who paved the way for the players of today. It was Councilmember Kevin Thompson's idea for us to issue this proclamation, so I'd like to turn the remainder of the presentation over to him. Kevin.
Thank you, Mayor. Anyone that knows me and the Thompson household knows that we are huge baseball fans, and we're fortunate to live in Mesa that has had a really rich tradition of baseball with spring training for more than a half century. And we all look forward to the Cubs and the A's heading our way at the beginning of February. So 2020 marks the 100th anniversary of the founding of the Negro National Baseball League that provided a playing field for African American and Hispanic baseball players to showcase their world-class baseball abilities. The Negro Leagues would operate for 40 years, becoming a catalyst for economic growth in African American communities across the country and help spark social change in America. Mr. Cub himself, Ernie Banks, spent many springs in Mesa playing for the Kansas City Monarchs in the Negro Leagues. And that's why I'm excited and honored and proud to be able to share this proclamation this evening, designating today, August 24th, 2020, as Negro League Baseball Day in the city of Mesa. So whereas 2020 is the 100th anniversary of the Negro National Baseball League's founding, and whereas Mesa has a rich history with baseball, hosting spring training for more than 50 years, and whereas Mesa acknowledges the sacrifice and contributions of many honorable individuals who paved the way for future athletes of color, and whereas the city of Mesa joins in partnering with the U.S. Conference of Mayors Play Ball program, Major League Baseball, and the Negro League Baseball Museum in honoring the centennial anniversary of the Negro League. Now, therefore, we do hereby proclaim August 24th, 2020 as Negro League Baseball Day. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councilmember Thompson. Our final item under this agenda item is a somber one. The city of Mesa recently lost one of our own in a tragic on-job accident. Jason Ostwald passed away on August the 6th, and our thoughts and prayers are with his family, friends, and coworkers during this very difficult time. Here to say a few words about Jason is Fleet Services Director Pete Scarafiati. Following his comments, I'm going to ask that you again join me again for another moment of silence in recognition of Jason. Pete.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. I'm Pete Scarafiati, the Fleet Services Director. I'm here this afternoon to briefly speak about our teammate, Jason Ostwald. He was tragically lost on the evening of August 6th. At the time of his death, Jason was a mechanic 2, assigned to the night shift at Fleet's East Mesa Service Center. Jason was hired by the city in 2012 and spent the last 8 years assigned as the lead mechanic on the city's fleet of street sweepers. Jason was a highly trained master mechanic who held many technical certifications issued by independent professional organizations. Before coming to work for the city, Jason spent 5 years in the United States Navy as a technician assigned to the Navy Seabees. Jason was known to his coworkers as a real professional and a perfectionist. Jason is deeply missed by all of his teammates, and it simply will not be the same without him. We will never forget Jason, his quiet sense of humor, his professionalism, and most of all, his dedication to the city of Mesa. In acknowledgement of his naval service, we at Fleet wish our teammate fair winds and following seas. May God bless you. Mayor, thank you for allowing me to say a few words for Jason and his family.
Thank you. And again, in recognition of this tragedy, please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. And again, our prayers are with Jason and the Oswald family. Thank you for your sacrifice for our city. The next item on our agenda is to take action on the consent agenda. Mr. Kevin Christopher will read the consent agenda for the council. Mr. Christopher.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. These are the items on the consent agenda. All items listed with an asterisk will be considered as a group by the city council and will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion unless a council member or a citizen requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered as a separate item. Item 2, approval of minutes of previous meetings is written. Item 3A, act on liquor license application for Courtyard by Marriott Mesa, 2224 West Rio Salado Parkway. Item 3B, act on liquor license application for Power Meeting Center, 2224 West Rio Salado Parkway. Item 3C, act on liquor license application for the Hub Grill and Bar, 1860 South Stapley Drive. Item 3D, act on liquor license application for Nocturnal Vodka, 1930 South Alma School Road. Item 3E, act on liquor license application for California Fish Grill, 1855 South Stapley Drive. Item 4A, act on contract to purchase an on-air graphic system for the Public Information and Communications Office. Item 4B, act on one-year renewal with a one-year renewal option for the term contract for library books, spoken word, DVDs, and digital media for the Library Services Department. Item 4C, act on one-year renewal with a one-year renewal option for the term contract for library media materials for the Library Services Department. Item 4D, act on one-year renewal with a one-year renewal option for the term contract for large print library books for the Library Services Department. Item 4E, act on a dollar limit increase to the term contracts for HVAC services and equipment for the Parks, Recreation, and Community Facilities Department, as requested by the Office of Economic Development. Item 4F, act on contract to purchase an industrial wheel loader for the Parks, Recreation, and Community Facilities Department, as requested by the Fleet Services Department. Item 4G, act on 9-month term contract with 2 years of renewal options for ground maintenance equipment, irrigation parts, supplies, and repairs for the Parks, Recreation, and Community Facilities Department. Item 4H, act on 1-year term contract with 2 years of renewal options for video laryngoscopes for the Mesa Fire and Medical Department. This purchase is funded by the Public Safety Sales Tax. Item 4I, act on ratification of the emergency purchase of N95 respirator masks for the Mesa Fire and Medical Department. This purchase is from federal grant funds. Item 4J, act on 3-year term contract with 2 years of renewal options for appliances for the Mesa Fire and Medical Department. Item 4K, act on 3-year term contract with 2 years of renewal options for ballistic helmets and handsets. The initial purchase is partially grant funded by the Arizona Department of Homeland Security. Item 4L, act on contract to purchase dispatch base station radio equipment. This purchase is funded by the Public Safety Sales Tax. Item 4M, act on ratification of the emergency purchase of beanbag rounds. Item 4N, act on contract for purchase of very high frequency simulcast timing reference lifecycle upgrade for the Topaz Regional Wireless Cooperative as requested by the Department of Innovation and Technology. Cost of this purchase will be shared among the fire and medical members of the cooperative, the City of Mesa, Town of Gilbert, Superstition District, Town of Queen Creek, and the Rio Verde Fire District. Item 4O, act on dollar limit increase to the term contract for original equipment manufacturer, heavy duty truck parts and repairs for the Fleet Services and Mesa Fire and Medical Departments. Item 4P, act on 3-year term contract with 2 years of renewal options for off-site vehicle washing services for citywide departments as requested by the Fleet Services Department. Item 4Q, act on contract to purchase a heavy-duty rear loading refuse truck for the Environmental Management and Sustainability Department as requested by the Fleet Services Department. Item 4R, act on 3-year term contract with 2 years of renewal options for closed circuit television cameras for the Transportation Department. Item 4S, act on dollar limit increase to the term contract for the Phillips City Touch Streetlight Monitoring System for the Transportation Department. Item 4T, act on 3-year term contract with 2 years of renewal options for traffic signal cabinet components for the Transportation Department. Item 4U, act on dollar limit increase to the term contract for major repair services for Caterpillar generators for the Water Resources, Energy Resources, and Parks, Recreation, and Community Facilities Departments as requested by the Water Resources Department. Item 4V, act on 3-year term contract with 2 years of renewal options for powdered activation carbon for the Water Resources Department. Item 4W, act on 1-year renewal with a 1-year renewal option for the term contract for gas service regulators for the Materials and Supply Warehouse for the Energy Resources Department. Item 4X, act on 1-year renewal with a 1-year renewal option for the term contract for rotary gas meters for the Materials and Supply Warehouse for the Energy Resources Department. Item 4Y, act on 1-year renewal with a 1-year renewal option for the term contract for meter set assemblies for the Materials and Supply Warehouse for the Energy Resources Department. Item 4Z, act on contract for Oakwood Creative Care Tenant Improvements Project. This project is funded by Community Development Block Grant Funds and the capital budget. Item 5A, act on resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with the 100 Club of Arizona to accept stipend funds for the purchase of 80 extrication turnouts for the Fire and Medical Department's ladder crews. Item 5B, act on resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with FEMA to accept grant funds from the Assistance Firefighters Grant Program with required 10% city match. The funds will be used for the purchase and installation of source capture exhaust extraction systems for 16 fire and medical department facilities. Item 5C, act on resolution extinguishing a public utilities and facilities easement and an electric easement located at 405 East Main Street to allow for a multi-use development called the Groves on Main. The easements are no longer required by the city. Item 5D, act on resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with Maricopa County. This agreement provides reimbursement to the city for the prior use of 12 county-leased and secured hotel rooms in East Mesa that sheltered Mesa's at-risk homeless individuals and families from July 1st through July 31st, 2020, due to the COVID-19 health pandemic. Item 5E, act on resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with the Phoenix Mesa Gateway Airport Authority concerning the design and construction of the Ellsworth Channel Relocation Project located at Ray and Hawes Roads to aid in the future development of the northeast side of the airport. The construction costs of the water and wastewater utility infrastructure improvements will be the city's responsibility and are funded by 2014 authorized water bonds. Item 5F, act on resolution canvassing, declaring, and adopting the results of the primary election held August 4th, 2020. Item 6A, introduction of ordinance regarding ZON 20-00204, 860 and 864 West Southern Avenue, located east of Alma School Road on the north side of Southern Avenue. Rezone and site plan review to allow for an office building and self-storage facility. Item 7A, act on ordinance amending sections 10-4-3 and 10-4-4 of the Mesa City Code to modify the existing 40-mile-per-hour speed limit to 45 miles per hour on Signal Butte Road from Guadalupe Road to a point 450 feet south of Elliott Road, as recommended by the Transportation Advisory Board. Item 8A, act on subdivision plat, the Landings Phase 3, located west of Hawes Road on the south side of Ray Road. Item 8B, act on subdivision plat, destination at Gateway Phase 1, generally located west of Meridian Road and south of Williamsfield Road. And item 8C, act on subdivision plat in Spira at Mesa Gateway. This is generally located north of Baseline Road and east of Greenfield Road. Mayor and council members, these are the items on the consent agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Christopher. Ms. Mickelson, are there any requests to speak on an item on the consent agenda?
No request, Mayor.
Thank you. Council, is there a motion and a second for approval of the consent agenda? Motion made by Mr. Luna, seconded by Mr. Freeman. We'll need to do a roll call vote, so please unmute your microphones. Vice Mayor Freeman, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Whitaker is excused and absent. Councilmember Heredia.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Duff.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Luna.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. I vote aye as well, so the motion passes with 6 ayes and Councilmember Whitaker absent. The next item on our agenda is items from citizens present. Ms. Mickelson, do we have any requests to speak under this agenda item?
We have 2 requests, Mayor. One of the requests, they've asked their comments to be read. They're pretty brief, so I'll go ahead and read that one first. Dear Mayor and council members of Mesa, I am morbidly concerned that if Mesa Public Schools opens during a pandemic, I and my family will contract COVID-19. How are grade school teachers and school staff able to control dozens of children age 5 to 14 to enforce social distancing? How are they to enforce wearing face masks during 6 or more hours of daytime school? I find it reprehensible that the federal government is considering withholding federal funds to Mesa Public Schools unless the schools open by September 10, 2020. The other speaker, I believe, is on the phone, and his name is Jason Anderson, and he should be there.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. We're looking forward to hearing from you. You have 3 minutes.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes, Mr. Anderson, please go ahead.
Esteemed council, honorable mayor, city leaders, citizens, I come to you today as a citizen of Mesa of 36 years and as a pastor of a diverse church. I am concerned for our Black brothers and sisters who feel marginalized, and I know you share that. I preach from my pulpit my concern that we cannot be idle when there is much to do. I'm also concerned for our men and women of uniform, the ones who are committed to the fight for safety and equal treatment, and justice for all they serve. In 1979, the city of Mesa modeled the training program of the San Jose Police Department in California, and it revolutionized our city police force. Our greatest resource is our people. We must equip them for this new age of policing. I would like to see the city of Mesa now become the model other cities look to for building a strong relationship of trust into the community, in particular our Black brothers and sisters. It is true that throughout history, police brutality towards the Black community has happened. As the world watched with the horrific acts towards George Floyd, scars and wounds became new pain, but with greater vigor. And if we are to believe the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., who so eloquently stated that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere, then it should not surprise us that the hateful actions of some officers can stain the reputation of officers in a city thousands of miles away and tear at the fabric of trust for years to come. We need a solution for America, a solution where people of color would call on the police believing that they will be treated with justice and equality, a solution where every fair and just police officer who sees our community through the eyes of equality, who enlisted with the desire to save lives and protect, that they too will be treated like the heroes that they are. And so I believe it is easy to bring both sides together with the common goal of rooting out racism, systemic racism, also offering extensive implicit bias training, spreading the load across more boots on the ground. Our city must develop a robust plan of practical real-world actions to be taken, of which I believe our mayor, the police chief, the city leaders are already working and already up for the challenge, which brings me at last to what I would ask of this council to consider, that your leaders would have the budget necessary to create such a model. A volunteer citizens advisory board could provide oversight to the earmarked dollars, which will help show good faith to our citizens. I welcome outside organizations to also engage in this conversation. If we do not fund great ideas, then great ideas are nothing more than meaningless chatter. We love you all dearly. May wisdom be on your lips and in your hearts. Peace and health for you and your families, and thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Anderson. I'm sorry I didn't immediately recognize that was you. I know that I appreciate you speaking on this issue. Unfortunately, as I think I explained to you earlier, because this isn't on our agenda, we can't really have a dialogue and discuss the items that you mentioned today. But I look forward to working with you on addressing those issues in the future. Ms. Mickelson, do we have any other requests to speak?
No requests, Mayor. That's it.
Okay. Thank you. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting then. Who would like to make that motion? Thank you, Mr. Luna. And a second from Mr. Thompson. Thank you. Council, please unmute your microphones. We'll do a voice vote on this motion. All in favor of adjourning, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Any opposed? All right. Thank you. We are adjourned.